Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sliding on in and stopping by on this wonderful, wonderful evening that it is today. We're listening to a little Pekka Pohjola. I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. I hope that I didn't. But we're going to listen to this track, Waves. This is coming off of the album Views, which was released in, is it 2001? Is this a more modern album? It says released in 2001. Very interesting. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Anson. Anson, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you as well for the support. Truly appreciate that. And I see that it had also been suggested a couple years ago from, this is the username, I'm not saying it, cloth-eared nincompoop. You said it, not me. Not me at all. Anyway, we've listened to a little bit from Mr. Pohjola. We've listened to Visitation. We've listened to that full album. We've listened to another track or so, but not so much. But I'm very happy to dive on into this one. There was another track. Annoyingly, I can't pronounce the name of it, but I had it on my playlist here on Spotify, and the music was removed, so that track is gone. But for right now, let's worry about the waves in front of us. First track off of the album. Here we go. That's lovely. That's beautiful. Transition as such. This is magic. Wow. That melody is just really nice. It's a nice bit of drama here at the end. Okay, like this is the opening track to the album, and you have to admit that that certainly sets an expectation. It certainly sets a scene. Looking at the album cover as we're taking a view over this body of water, it definitely precedes an epic journey of sorts. I mean, Waves feels like this cool, like very interesting. All right, let me gather my words. Gather the words. It's like a cool symphonic piece of, like, I know that Pekka usually plays, from what I've heard, in kind of a jazz fusion-esque kind of way. And we don't get that exactly. We have the soprano saxophone, I see, being played over really great orchestra and stuff here. That's going to be Tapani Rin playing the saxophone on this track. And I love that melody that the music sweeps into, at first gently, then of course later on more powerfully, the I didn't do it exactly, but that it's a really cool kind of wave of melody to lull you in. That it's like drawing you in, and then it kind of releases you a little bit. So it's this really cool back and forth that the music produces with that. Now, Pekka plays bass. He's also playing keyboards and composing and arranging in this album. On this track, it's very possible I could have missed it. I don't really hear any bass. Maybe at certain points he's playing keyboards, but I think that he's taking more of the arrangement aspect in this track. So it's kind of cool to hear from a solo artist, maybe not them even necessarily playing their instrument that they're known for, but taking not a background role, taking actually the biggest role in arranging and composing the music here. So it's really cool to hear him doing that and putting that particular skill to use in this track, which is a really fantastic piece to open it up. You also have Tomas on cello. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name, but it's there as well. And obviously here, the harp as well. That's Laura Heinemann playing the harp. And it just makes for this really gorgeous scenery in here. And like I said, I like when you hear a little bit of drums and rumbling in here too. But let me pull it back near, not the beginning, but right about Sure, right here. Okay. When it transitions into that, it almost has this rich flair that it begins to transition to, as opposed to the more scenic, organic, energy that was happening here. It has a kind of magical essence to it as well. But I like how as it moves into that drama, as you get to the end of the track, it moves deeper into the drama side of things. Maybe that's bass behind the piano there. Maybe. But it does a really good job of transitioning between these two sides, I should say, without sounding too jumpy. It doesn't jump between the serene and the dramatic. It actually transitions very nicely due to the strings and the arrangement of that in this track. And the saxophone over this piano. Doesn't this kind of ring inspiration to you? Doesn't that just sound inspiring? Like, obviously this is the first track on the album, but it truly sounds like the beginning of a journey. This sounds like the onset. It could be something as simple as packing the kids in the van to get ready to take a family trip, and that excitement, that bruise, that wonderful tension. Or it could be, getting into a raft to go White River rafting, and, when you're setting foot on the boat and that first little drop and your stomach churns up, it's just that excitement, but there's also a peace and a happiness that I think is extremely evident in the music. And this was really gorgeously played, and not what I expected as well to hear, but how joyously unexpected I am to find this 100%. I would love to know, however, what you guys thought of it in the comments down below. Anson, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support. This was a really cool track. And it fits in. You even said it might fit in with recent listens and such. It fits in so perfectly with the recent classical music and classical adjacent music we've listened to. This was a really cool, not diversion exactly, but in a way, sort of a little bit of a diversion. I really enjoyed that. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Hope that this made your day or your night just maybe a little bit better. Thanks for stopping by as always, and I will see you all later. Bye.